Jesus freak here. I've got a little money. It's taken a little longer to go through than it usually does. So I won't say it worries me, but I won't say that I'm not a little bit concerned either. Because I actually keep a backup plan just in case something goes wrong. Then, I got probably a couple weeks to a month to try to rectify it. And nothing's technically gone wrong yet. Because the money transfer I'm relying on isn't technically late, it's just taking longer than usual. In the meantime, I went to do my usual grocery run a couple days ago. And the stores I went to were out of some stuff. But I didn't feel like yesterday going up. To Tops, which is up the street from me, and trying to solve that issue. Still not deciding to do that right now. There's a few reasons I'm doing that. One is it's a bit cold, and the less I have to walk, the better. Although, frankly, it's just going to get worse. It's only the beginning of December. And we don't usually hit our worst until around February. But I tend to become a bit of a shut-in the winter. It's like, why? You're only 41. And even in my 30s, I was doing that. I don't really like to be outside when the weather's extreme. I try to leave it for when the weather's in the 50s, 60s, 70s Fahrenheit, or between about 10 and 25 or 30 Celsius. And the lower end of that is, I don't really like to, but I can deal with it. It's not that I'm not capable of handling it. It's not that I lack a jacket or anything. I got 2 winter coats. Although, for various reasons, I may or may not wear them. But honestly, most of my clothes are better suited for that, mid-range weather. And not for, winter weather or summer weather. Which I try to deal with. Some of the stuff I wear in the summer is a bit unorthodox, but it's because when it's so hot, you don't want to wear any more than you have to. So it's like, yeah, my shorts are a little shorter than you'd expect. My t-shirts cover up only as much as I absolutely have to. That's because it gets uncomfortable any other. Now, I've had some time to acclimate myself to having this overhead light and to figure things out with it a bit. Now, from what I can tell, a lot of the light you're seeing is actually indirect and isn't coming directly from where the light is, but spilling off the table and coming under the monitors. That's fine, it does what it's meant to do. You see, this time of year it's kind of dingy even when it's bright out. I could put this light on and I get some decent lighting that maybe it's a little excessive, but it's, it works well enough. I don't need to adjust anything in software. I'm looking a little scraggly, I admit that. I'm going to take care of that later. To be fair, that's a matter of me, not wanting to use up my razors too quickly. I buy cheap razors. I get a pack of 50 for between $7 and $9. The price goes up and down, it's not stable. But it's still cheaper than if I bought them locally. Roughly the same thing. And they work well enough. I am currently still going through Pop. Go figure. Now, the other day I bought some almond flavored syrup and paid more than I would have liked to, but it gives me another drink option because I don't like coffee, but if you put the almond syrup in there, it's fine. So I have that, I have tea, and I'm sure either one of them is better than this. The plastic jumpsuit you've seen probably in a couple videos. I'm not sure how much I want to talk about that. Other than I talked about mending it with super glue. But I said elsewhere, that it's probably a peculiarity that relates to my autism. Like, some autistic people feel better going to bed with a weighted blanket over them. You know, there's certain quirks related to tactility or, feel, and it varies from one person to another. But it's not necessarily the same with autistic people like me and neurotypicals. There's other explanations for it beside that, but that's one of them. And another one is, yeah, I watched a little too much Batman as a kid. Just me being weird. I've said, I'm an eccentric person, but it's a harmless eccentric. Anyway, Jesus freak out.